mountain and in the office. He required copious amounts of coffee. "Is that real coffee, or am I dreaming?" Matt looked up to see another hiker. This big guy was obviously in good shape, and he carried a large backpack with ease. He had a smile on his face and made eye contact with Matt, though the stranger occasionally glanced eagerly at the coffee pot. "It's real," Matt said. "I'm guessing you'd like some?" "I'll trade you 2 protein bars and an apple. If necessary, I'll throw in my firstborn. I forgot to bring coffee with me, the first and last time that will ever happen." "Well, I can't make you a non-fat, no-foam venti latte, but I can definitely give you some black coffee. No trade necessary." Matt didn't tell him his name or shake his hand. Those were unnecessary courtesies up here. They knew they would never see each other again. But Matt was happy to supply coffee and make this guy's time on the mountain easier and more pleasant. That was the way that things were done in this world. The way they should be done in every world. He poured the guy a cup of coffee and handed it to him. The stranger reached for it with his left hand and punched Matt in the face with his right. The punch traveled less than a foot, but was tremendously powerful. Matt quite literally never saw it coming and was never able to reflect on it because he instantly lost consciousness. His face was badly bruised and starting to bleed, but the stranger was not concerned about that because plenty of bruising and bleeding was to follow. No one would ever be able to determine that this blow was the first damage to Matt's body. No coroner in the world was that good. The stranger looked around to make sure that no other hikers were within sight, though he had already scouted out the area. He quickly put on gloves so as not to leave fingerprints, then gathered all of Matt's stuff and repacked it, leaving it not far from the ledge. He almost effortlessly picked up Matt's unconscious body and tossed it over the ledge. There was no way to tell when Matt actually died from the impacts he made along the way, but that wouldn't matter to anyone, least of all the stranger. There would be no reason to suspect foul play, and certainly no way to prove it. Matt was a hiker who, for a horrible moment, was not careful, and who had paid for it with his life. In everyone's eyes, it would just look as if Matt had lost a battle with Mother Nature. "Mr. Carpenter, this is Rachel Morehouse. I don't know if you remember me." "My memory seems to fail me every day. For example, I should start walking my cell phone on a leash to remember where I've put it. But I definitely remember Rachel Morehouse." "Of course I do. How are you, Rachel?" "I'm fine, thank you." "Is there a problem with Lion?" I clutched the phone a bit tighter. I do not want there to be a problem with Lion. He is a magnificent dog, a Chow Chow, and we named him Lion because his looks reminded me of the cowardly lion in The Wizard of Oz. Lion is the reason I am able to find Rachel in my depleted memory bank. One day about a year ago, she walked into the Terra Foundation, the dog rescue group that I run with my partner, Willie Miller. She saw Lion and fell in love, adopting him immediately. Until that day, Lion had been a bit of a problem for us. Not only was he large and approaching senior age, 2 qualities that made placing him in a home more difficult, but he had an alleged biting incident in his past. That made it much more difficult, and we had him for almost 6 weeks. I was afraid his wait to find a loving home would drag on forever. But enter Rachel Morehouse, a tiny woman in her 60s who looked comical next to Lion. He was almost as big as she was, and when they left, it was hard to tell who was walking whom. She said that she had lost her husband a while back and was all alone. She wanted a dog who needed her and who she could love and care for the rest of his life. Lion fit the bill perfectly, and right now I'm afraid that something might have happened to change that. "Oh no, Lion is fine," she says. "Wonderful, actually. More than wonderful." "I'm glad to hear that. You had me worried for a minute." "Sorry, but Lion is the reason I am calling." "You want a brother for him? Or maybe a sister? That would not be a problem." She laughs. "No,